Oh, we're giving hearts.
Okay,
and we
I made it big. Yep.
Rob, there they are.
Rob
starting to get
Lichtenfeld says hi. Rob Lichtenfeld, can you hear everybody? Can you tell us if you can hear us? And meanwhile, everyone who's coming in, if you'd like to play our quarantine house game that's on the screen, you should be able to see that. Let us know. Let us know your house of choice. Hi, Reed. Look at your U.S. figure skating background. I love it. New comments. Jamie said, hi, Jamie. Jamie says they can hear us. That's wonderful.
Hi, Jamie.
All right, so everyone pick your house while we're waiting for people to join. Pick your quarantine house.
House 4.
And I just hid, I was blocking part of house number 4. And
because we don't need lots of
that. Hi, Sally Ann.
That's killing.
We have Maria Schiarina says house number 2 for the clean Lutzes.
Good choice.
Kimberly Ward says house number 3. Elaine, hi Elaine. Stephanie Howe Gant says house number 1 because she wants the Ken Ho Holy Grail flowers. We have a vote for house number 1 and a vote for house number 2. No love for my house.
Carmen, fake hair, Killian.
I'm in house number 4 with the fake hair and the Killian. I really wanted the GOEs and I also wanted the candy.
Well, I like calling the spins, so I'll go for that.
We'll skate to Carmen as long as we can do like a Tessa and Scott free dance rendition of Carmen, because that was awesome. Was it 2013? Yeah.
Hi, Melissa Garland. Let me look at the time. Okay, so we got a late start. We got a late start due to exciting technical difficulties and me not pushing a button. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna mute everyone. It's not that I don't love you.
Probably gonna die.
Let's see, how do I do that? Okay, I'm doing a mute all and just unmute yourself when needed. Thank you. Okay. Hi, Marcia. Okay, so we got a late start to this due to technical difficulties on my end. So we're trying to pick our quarantine house right now, and I'm actually going to warm us up with a trivia question, and then we can start. Or maybe 2 trivia questions, depending on how we're going. All right, I have a trivia question. So first of all, I'd like to thank Rob Lichtenfeld for helping prepare the trivia questions. These were written by both of us. All right, this is our first trivia question, and if no one in the comments knows, I will let the leadership people try to answer. Only one skater has won titles in both Championship Adult Gold Men and Championship Masters Intermediate Novice Men. Name that skater. Can anyone in the comments answer my trivia question for the name of the skater who has titles in both Champ Adult Gold Men and Championship Masters Intermediate Novice Men? Can anyone answer? Jose likes house number 4. Maybe I should put my trivia question in the comments.
The guesses are rolling in.
We have a correct answer from Marie Sherry, who answered Burton Powley. She is right. Good job, Marie Sherry. Congratulations on knowing your adult skating trivia. Burton Powley is the only person who has won titles in Championship Adult Gold Men and Championship Masters Intermediate Novice Men. Good job. All right, we'll do one more trivia question and then we'll start. In what year, you can name either the year or the host city, when did the Wall Street Journal have a front page story about the adult championships? What was the year, or what was the host city when the Wall Street Journal had the adult championships on the front page? Does anyone know? Anthony guesses 2011. That is not correct. We're still cheering for Burton. Brenda guesses 2007. That is not it. Nope. Sally Ann guesses 2017. Not correct. Cheryl Morrison for the win with 2014 in Hyannis. The 2014 Adult Championships were featured on the cover of the Wall Street Journal in that year, and Hyannis hosted in that year. Okay, I hope that you've all enjoyed our quarantine game. I'll take that down for now, but we can play more later. And then I'll, let me get everyone up here. There, that looks nice. Okay, I'm just gonna wait a bit for that. Hi, Becca. Oh, Sally Ann was saying that Marsha Richards was featured in the Wall Street Journal. She was, you are correct. No, we're talking about the adult champs as a whole, not just Marsha Richards. Okay, so thank you everyone for coming. I wanna welcome you to the 2020 Adult Skating Committee Informational Meeting. So this meeting happens every year at the Adult Champs, and even though we do not have an Adult Champs this year, we still wanted to have the meeting, and honestly, the agenda is pretty much exactly the same as it was going to be. If you have to come and go, like can't stay for the whole thing, etc., if everything goes according to plan, this whole thing will be recorded, and you can watch whenever you want, which is great. And we will have trivia throughout. Oh, Burton Powley just joined. Burton, you just missed a trivia question about you. So we will be on here throughout this, and yeah, you can come and go as you please, and there will be trivia going on. So first I'll introduce myself, and in a moment you'll meet all the lovely friends who are on the screen with me. I'm Aviva Cantor. I'm the chair of the Adult Skating Committee. I'm a lifelong skater. I've been skating since I was 4 years old, and the transition to adult skating was a seamless one and a very natural one for me. This was my first year chairing the Adult Skating Committee. I've been on the committee since 2017. And yeah, it's been a very exciting, meaningful year with also some very unexpected events in various capacities. Yeah. So on that note, I'm going to share the Adult Skating Committee vision, and then you're going to meet all of my friends. So at the start of anything that the Adult Skating Committee does, we always share who we are and why we're here. So the Adult Skating Committee will nurture and support the expansion of the vibrant and diverse family of adult skaters in harmony and partnership with the U.S. figure skating population. The Adult Skating Committee will function as the lead advocates for the adult skating community, and the Adult Skating Committee will aim to provide meaningful on-ice events for all ages of abilities of adult skaters, promoting the idea that the ultimate success in adult figure skating is continuing to be able to skate for life. And on that note, I'm going to introduce the Adult Skating Committee leadership team. Everyone who's on this screen with me is going to be introduced at some point. So these are all the people who help me when I have to make a tough decision or just need some more opinions or just need some help in pretty much every way possible. And I'm very grateful for all of these people who help me on the regular. So please unmute yourself and give us a hello when it's your turn. I'm going to introduce the National Vice Chair for Athlete Services and Technical, Rochelle Revor.
Hello, greetings from San Diego.
Thank you. And the National Vice Chair for Learn to Skate USA and Non-Qualifying, Lisa Landon.
Hi, everyone. Hi from Colorado Springs.
And the National Vice Chair for Community Support and Development, Kara Scudner.
Hi, friends. Hi from Pennsylvania.
And the National Vice Chair for Communications, Mike Cruz. I could not hear you, but the waving was lovely and the crown is fantastic. I'm going to introduce the Vice Chair of Singles, Reed Hastings.
Good evening from New Mexico.
And our Vice Chair of Pairs, Stephen Traska.
Hey everybody, from checking in from Boston, soon to be hit by a snowstorm.
And our Vice Chair of Dance, Rachel Kuhn.
Hi, everybody from Cleveland, Ohio, where it
Our Vice Chair of Showcase, Julie Goodlow.
Hi, everybody from LA, California, and Pickwick Ice Arena. Thank you to the virtual background.
And our Vice Chair of Technical Panel, Ian McAdam.
Good evening, everyone. I would love to say that I'm enjoying beach, but I too am sitting waiting for a snowstorm to come just outside of Boston.
I feel like I forgot to say where I was. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. It's pretty cool that we're in like all these places. And last but not least, I'm also going to introduce Carrie Bodorf, who is joining our leadership team next year.
Hi, everybody. I am actually from Florida, but I am also outside of Cleveland, suffering through the snow.
So right now, could anyone else who's on the Adult Skating Committee as a member say hello in the comments? You can use your emoji of choice or anything else. Just say hello to everyone. We would usually have Adult Skating Committee members stand up and say hi, but say hello in the comments while I'm doing the next part. So next, I'm introducing some very special people who have made huge contributions to our Adult Skating Committee. So on the screen with us, we have the National Vice Chair for Adult Skating on the Competitions Committee, Lori Fussell.
Hi, everybody. Greetings from Colorado Springs.
And our other guests are not on the screen with us, but I will tell you about them. I wanted to acknowledge the LOC chairs from the University of Delaware Figure Skating Club. They are Jerry Santaferrara and Charles Roble. They put so much work into the 2020 Adult Championships, and I'm thrilled to share that they are hosting the 2022 Adult Championships, April 6th through 9th, 2022 in Newark, Delaware. So I just wanted to thank them and acknowledge them. Next, we're acknowledging Sue Miller. Sue Miller was our chief referee for the 2020 Adult Championships. She put hours upon hours of work into this event. She also pulled double duty because she was also the chief referee at Eastern Adult Sectionals in 2020. So Sue has made wonderful contributions to our community this season. Another person pulling double duty, Chief Accountant Sandra Phelan. She was scheduled to be the chief accountant for the Adult Championships, and she was also one of the photographers at Midwestern Adult Sectionals. So thank you, Sandra, for everything you've done for us this season. And I would also like to give a huge shout out to someone who I do think is watching in the comments. We need to acknowledge the event coordinator from US Figure Skating, Jamie Zimmerman. She works for headquarters and she is our point person for seriously like so many things relating to this event. She put so much work into the Adult Champs, and she also recently became a video producer, conceptualizing the video that we announced on Wednesday. She has done so much for the Adult Champs. She's also a past Adult Champs competitor, we learned recently. So thank you, Jamie, for absolutely everything that you have done. So next, Lori.
Bravo.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask Lori to unmute for the next part anyways. So next on our agenda, we have a thank you to the Phelan family. Next on our agenda, Lori and I are going to review a couple of highlights from the Adult Champs FAQ doc. So this is a document that we sent out to all 2020 registered competitors, just with some questions we've heard. We're not reading the entire doc. I'm just pulling a couple of them. Lori, do you want me to ask the questions and you'll answer them?
Sure.
Okay. Will the 2020 Adult Championships be rescheduled?
Yeah, I have to say, as we go through these questions seemed a lot more relevant in the week following the cancellation. I think everyone understands now that that's not going to happen.
And the reason is that there's so many shared resources that we depend on to run the competition, with both within headquarters and volunteers, everybody from officials down the line, that it's just not possible to do it. So we're going to move on and start planning for 2021.
Yeah, and this includes both the qualifying and the non-qualifying events. None of them are being rescheduled. If someone qualified for the adult championships through adult sectionals, can they get a bye for 2021?
We asked, and there are no buys for the adult championships, and there's a precedent in past when world championships have been canceled. None of the athletes who qualified for the World Figure Skating Championships received buys for the following season. They all had to requalify, and if that's what happens for the elite skaters, that's what happened for adult skaters as well. So we just have to accept this with as much grace as the elite athletes do.
Will there be a year of competition credit for the Lifetime Competitor Recognition Program for 2020?
Yeah, so we're going to go through a series of questions now. Again, I think people pretty much accepted this, but if there's no competition being held, we can't issue credit or awards or trophies for any of the events that didn't happen.
So that covers our next questions. We're not awarding for Skate Forever Young awards, and we're not awarding for the perpetual trophies. Next question. We have a lot of skaters out there who were hoping to use the 2020 Adult Championships as a qualifier for National Showcase. Is there a way for them to still compete at National Showcase?
This one's great news. The answer is yes, if National Showcase is held this year, right? And you will get a letter that will automatically be emailed out later this spring that verified that you entered, and just the fact that you entered the U.S. Adult Championships in a National Showcase qualifying event will make you eligible to compete if that competition is able to be held later this year.
Fabulous. All right, so now I'm going to go through a couple of excerpts from the Adult Skating Committee's report in the Governing Council meeting. If Rochelle, Rachel, Lisa, Kara, and Mike to be so something we did this year. As you know, we have a brand new U.S. figure skating website, and I worked hand in hand with several members of U.S. Figure Skating headquarters to update all of our information, both on usfigureskating.org/adult skating, as well as the members only site. A lot of this was just repurposing information that we already had. I personally really like the look of the new website. I know that change is hard, but I think ultimately it's a good thing. Something else we did was we collaborated with headquarters to review PSA rankings for coaches of adult qualifying competitors. So now if a coach coaches a competitor at adult sectionals in a qualifying event, it can go towards the PSA ranking that they're looking to earn. I'm going to move on to what's under athlete services and technical. Something we did, I'm wearing mine. Gold medalist jacket embroidery. Shout out to Julie Gidlow, who's on the screen, who helped me out a bit with this one. I collaborated with headquarters to make sure that we were updating the gold medalist jacket embroidery to reflect the most recent updates to the adult testing structure. So as of now, every adult test, whether it's an adult 21 plus test, 50 plus test, etc., can be embroidered on a gold medalist jacket. So thank you, Julie. Also, our whole committee, we had some conversations with the Showcase subcommittee on programs and new program development, providing some recommendations for pattern dance prerequisites, which may be used for Showcase in the future to determine your eligibility. So this isn't, it's hard for me to say exactly what's happening with this at this time because we won't know until the 2021 National Showcase guidelines come out. But we did provide some recommendations for them, just explaining if they are going to use pattern dances for eligibility in Adult Showcase, here's what we'd like it to be. So stay tuned for more on that, and just know that a couple people might switch Showcase levels in the coming seasons. We also worked with headquarters to update Technical Notification 233 with some minimum scores for testing adult silver free skate and adult intermediate through senior free skate with protocol. So this just means that for any free skate test, adult silver and higher, you can test with IJS protocol instead of through a typical test session. Next is Rachel to speak a bit about the partner dance restructuring project.
So one thing that we've looked at is potentially restructuring our partner dance. The last couple of years, we focused on solo free dance and solo dance and restructuring that. So now we're turning our attention to some changes to the couples partner dance. And there's been people asking, you know, currently skaters they can test adult bronze and adult silver free dance, but you can't compete them at the U.S. Adult Championship. So we're looking at the possibility of restructuring to the higher levels, pre-gold, gold, and open masters, splitting those off into separate events for the pattern dance and the free dance, maybe combining them down a little bit, combining pre-gold and gold, because historically the numbers for both of those levels have been fairly low. I think this year we had 4 entries in gold and none in pre-gold. They've been very small the last couple years. And then this would also open up the opportunity for us to add as separate events from pattern dance, adult bronze, and adult silver partnered free dance tests. We sent out a survey to the skaters to get some input on this earlier in the year, and we're going to work on a ballot over the summer and next season, because it is a lot of work to make sure that we're going to have to redo the draws for the pattern dances, and there's a lot of other things that we have to consider. So while a lot of discussion and thought went into this, we decided it needed some more time to gel. And so this is something that will be happening. Hopefully we'll be discussing further in the coming year. If you have any opinions or thoughts or comments on this, please feel free to reach out to me. My email address is on the U.S. Figure Skating website. If you are somebody who regularly competes in these events, I'd love to hear from you as to your thoughts. And that's it for dance.
Thank you. Rochelle, can you tell us about the Special Achievement Award guidelines and the change we made this season?
Certainly. So our change already went into effect for the current qualifying season we're in. So our qualifying sectional championship competitors already competed under the new guidelines for these Special Achievement Awards. Now, if you're not familiar with the Special Achievement Awards, they are given to the singles event, championship qualifying competitors at adult sectionals, as well as the pairs and dance championship competitors at the adult championships. And skaters are able to earn those awards for either the highest skating skills mark in their event, the highest interpretation mark in their event, the highest total of points earned in spins. Those 3 awards remain the same as in the past, and these are for the single skaters. The one change we did make was the award that goes to any single skater in the event who earns a grade of execution. And previously, we had a lower grade of execution threshold, but our scoring range has changed, where now we have the -5 to +5 system, while the previous guidelines were set up under the old -3 to +3 system for GOEs. So we changed our GOE threshold, and now any skater who earns at least one GOE of a +3 or higher on any single element can award a pin. And that's a new change for this season. And then for our pairs and our dance competitors at the U.S. Championships, who are entered in the U.S. Adult Championships, who are entered into the championship event, the part that remains the same is the couple or pair who has the highest skating skills mark will get an award. The pair or couple who has the highest interpretation mark will get an award. The pair who has the highest point total for their side-by-side spin will get an award. And then the dance couple who has the highest point totals for their twizzle will earn an award. Those will remain the same as previously, and the new this season for the pairs and couples is any pair couple who has an element that's awarded at least one GOE of +3 or higher, they will also get an award. So these are great little pins that you're able to pick up if you're awarded, at the competition itself, and it's a really great way to recognize our athletes who are able to achieve something really notable in their event, whether it's an element or something on the component side.
Thank you. And I'll add one thing about that. This is going to be an annual thing that we review these special achievement awards because the IJS is ever evolving, and we're going to pull data from this season and see how it went. And this may be something that we change, that we keep evolving a bit, but I think that the change this year was really positive. Next, I would like for Lisa Landon to talk a bit about the 2019 to 2020 adult competition series for us.
Thanks, Aviva. Okay, so this year's adult competition series, I wanted to give a quick shout out. Our champions from the Eastern section, Amanda Bowles, Laura Southworth, Matthew Tankersley, Jennifer Warner Freeman, Josie Castor Kane, Paulina Celadon, Chelsea Alexander, Kristen Reamer, Penny Decker, Danielle Donaldson, Stan Keimer, Margaret Van Patten, Andrea Polick, Karen Farinella, Ruth Smith, Sydney Smith, Kristen Ervik, and John Stone. We obviously had quite a great group of people that were participating in the Eastern section. It was the largest section for the number of competitors. The Midwest came in second in the number of competitors. So I want to shout out to Ashley Lewis, Kristen Flannery, Leslie Brandt, Jody Culver, Kimberly Ballas, Susan Frobisher, and Katrina Ladopoulos. They were our competition series champions in the Midwest. Unfortunately, next year, I'm hoping we will have some competitors in the Pacific Coast. So those of you on the Pacific Coast, get ready to get involved because we want you in the series. We'll cover some of what we're going to be doing next year when Carrie gets on. But just to cover this year we had 31 competitions sign up to be part of our series. That's 2 competitions more than last year. And we try to have any competition that is interested in being part of the series be accessible to all adult skaters, because we know as adults we have lots of demands on our time. So we want to make sure that adult skaters can choose from as many different competitions as possible to be involved in the series. So we're hoping that even more competitions sign up for this next year, and that sign up will be online shortly. So the competitions this year, starting in June, will be able to be part of our series. As far as the number of competitors, this year we had 58, with the vast majority being in the East Coast. Last year we had 61, so we dropped a couple, but it was really great to see all of the participation on the Eastern section. So,
awesome. And while we're on this one, Carrie, do you want to chime in and just say a bit about what we are looking forward to for next year?
Yeah, sure. So one thing we are looking at is making some edits to the scoring system, to the way things are scored. We've had some suggestions, and we have a wonderful committee member, Wendy, who is a astronomer, I believe, and is amazing with numbers. So anybody who wants to do math besides me, you are it. And yes, we're going to keep with the any competition who wants to be involved can join us. Yeah, we plan to start at June. The one thing we are doing this year is it is for skaters 18 and up. So that is a change for the future, looking forward. But the same thing, we're going to start in June. Any competition who wants to join. So Pacifics, join us. Pass the word along to your clubs. We'd love to have you. And Pacific Coast skaters, spread the word to your friends, to all of your skaters around. We want you. We want some representation from you guys this year. And I'm looking forward to keeping going this legacy that Lisa's got going, and I'm going to do my best.
Yeah, seriously, while I'm on here, I do want to say one more thing about the adult competition series, but huge shout out to Lisa Landon, who is exiting the leadership team from this year. She has been seriously amazing. She is the co-creator of the adult competition series, along with Lori Fussell. And she's been seriously awesome to us and will continue to be a lovely partner to our committee. One more thing I want to say before we switch topics is that there is one other big change happening to the adult competition series for next year. In the past, competitors have been asked to compete in both compulsory and free skate. Starting next year, just free skate. We're making this much easier for you. Kara likes this idea. We've just heard that a lot of the competitors don't have the time to devote to preparing two programs. They'd rather not have the financial commitment of multiple events. And sometimes these multiple events were on different days, which was causing an extra night at a hotel. So we're making it much simpler, making it free skate only, which actually aligns better with the championship adult events, which are also, with the exception of dance, free skate only. So we're doing that. I'm gonna move to community supporting development. If Kara would like to unmute.
Hey, Aviva.
Yeah.
Aviva, there were a couple questions that came up on Facebook, and they wanted to know whether or not basic skills competitions could be part of the series, and I just wanted to make sure they knew that absolutely basic skills competitions can be part of the series because they need to go from adult 1 all the way up to adult bronze. So all of those levels are allowed in the Learn to Skate competition. So absolutely, if you have a Learn to Skate competition and you want to be a part of the series, then please sign up. Thanks, Aviva, sorry.
No problem. And actually, someone else in the comments is asking for a summary of what the adult competition series is. It's a competition series for adult 1 through adult bronze, where skaters earn points at non-qualifying competitions throughout the season, ultimately going to a final event at their corresponding adult sectionals. And the lovely Carrie is going to provide you with a link in a moment. And Kara, Kara, do you have the agenda in front of you?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll do the first two. These are all things that fall under community support and development. Something really cool we did this year was we've started an adult skating photo archives project, which means I've recruited 3 adult skating historians, Julie Goodlow, who's on here, Colleen Conroy, and Lexi Roner, to help with our US Figure Skating Museum and Hall of Fame, World Figure Skating Museum and Hall of Fame, help them identify vintage photos of adult skaters, which will ultimately be featured in the museum at some time. Also, we've had some discussions with the chair of the Synchronized Skating Development and Technical Committee regarding some ways that we can collaborate more with some more efforts for adult skaters who participate in synchronized skating. And take it away, Kara.
So I get to talk about fun things like sparkly trophies. So we had the board of directors approve 3 new perpetual trophies this year. We hope to display them at the adult championships, but we're going to display them virtually to you instead. The Championship Masters Intermediate Novice Men's Trophy, the Championship Masters Pairs Trophy, and the Small Club Team Trophy. And we actually have a 4th trophy that is pretty much just waiting for the stamp of approval, and that is the Large Club Team Trophy.
And if you look at Lori Fussel's screen.
Yes, can Lori?
She is showing us, the multicolored one on the left is for pairs, and the glass one on the right is for Large Club.
And they're gorgeous. I had the Pairs Trophy very briefly. And then something else that community support and development did was launch the 2019 to 2020 Bravo board, which is where committee members, but any adult skater can send it in, and we will shout out on social media how your clubs or anyone in the skating community is supporting adult skating. You're up, Aviva.
I'll do this one. So something else that the committee did this season was organizing and staffing an adult skating program marketing table at the 2020 Toyota US Figure Skating Championships in Greensboro. So I had a table, shout out to the adult skaters who were very helpful to me at this table. There were several in attendance who came by and helped me set up and do various things, where I just interacted with the fans at the event and handed out brochures and just talked to people about adult skating. Benny the ice skating dog even stopped by for a while. It was a really great experience, and I so hope to do it again. Also, thank you to our friends at headquarters for helping me with that and helping me do that, and even helping me get a bigger table when my table was too small. Oh no, wait. No, they got me a smaller table because my table was too big. That was it. Yeah, they were great. It was a really great experience. And Kara.
So this actually ties into what Aviva just said, because one of the items that the table had was the so we decided to make more individual and together a bingo card that skaters could, or any skater really, could complete and send in. We had 51 skaters complete that, and that actually included 2 kids who did full cards and had their parents email them in. So they were included in the Skating Magazine shout out. And we also handed out autographed water bottle prizes, but unfortunately we couldn't hand them out at the adult champs this year. So if you were supposed to get one there, stay tuned. You can pick it up in 2021 in Michigan. And we are actually working on another virtual event that will encourage you to stay active off the ice, so stay tuned.
Thank you. And now can we have Mike Cruz talk a bit about what we've done with communications this year?
Thank you, Aviva. We have put a focus on the adult skating page of, doing the 3 A's, such as achievement, affirmation, and acknowledgement. And on Tuesdays, we have Adult Skate Tuesday, where we feature someone in the community who is supportive of adult skating. And I'd like to encourage everybody to continue to submit those videos so that we can feature them and really start, continue to show the amount of support that we all give each other, and that comes from both within and outside the skating community. So I'd really like you to continue to submit those videos. You can message us on Facebook with your video, and if you use your video, we'll give you credit.
Thank
also,
you.
Wisdom and games. And if you receive an email or something from someone like Cindy Krause with a request for some biographical information and a picture, I know that we would all be very appreciative if you'd be responsive to those requests so that we can get them up and share them and, collectively support everybody. Another thing that we had planned to do this year at Adult Nationals was do a retrospective video from all the past years of adult figure skating. And so I'd like to continue to solicit those videos so that we can use them for next year. So if you have any video from your past years that you participated in Adult Nationals and you'd like to have us include those in that montage, please message me or email me with that video, and we can use it. So I think that's all I have to say.
Awesome. I have a couple more communications related things to share.
Just like in all things in life, the show must go on. We had our brief interruption.
Yes.
We will take our program deduction, and we will carry on as planned and pretend it never happened.
Oh, thank goodness. Elaine says we're back. So we just got a 1.5 deduction for interruption in excess. Or I don't know. Reads the referee. Read, what's our deduction?
You get an interruption with allowance deduction.
An interruption with allowance. Thank you. All right, everyone, thank you so much for bearing with us. So I'm going to go back because we believe that everyone did hear Mike Cruz talk, which is wonderful because we love Mike Cruz. But after Mike Cruz talked, I said something important. So we're going back. So we're reviewing our request for action for governing council. And one of the things that we are changing is that we are making it so that a 2-foot spin will receive credit in the adult pre-bronze well-balanced free skate. The reason we're doing this is because the pre-bronzes, particularly under IJS, they have to do 2 spins of a different character. And a lot of skaters at this level cannot perform a camel, a sit spin, a layback, or a back spin with enough rotations to get credit. So their only options for 2 spins are 1-foot spin and 2-foot spin. So rather than getting 1 spin dashed, they will now get credit for that 2-foot spin. And Rachel, come on back. And
Okay.
Rachel, please tell us about item 2 and what's happening with the test eligibility for adult pre-gold partnered and solo dance.
All right, time to talk about my favorite thing, ice dancing. Here we go. One thing that we've looked at is closing up some loopholes and clarifying some of our eligibility for the partner dance events over the last couple of years. And one thing that we noticed is for the adult pre-gold dance event, the higher of the two partners cannot have completed the complete gold dance test. And it says nothing about international dances. And if you're a dancer, you know that you can start testing the internationals, and there's 11 of them, along contemporaneously with your gold dance test. So for example, I don't have my complete gold dance test quite yet. I do have one internationals passed so far. Let's say that my dance partner has one pre-gold dance test, and we wanted to compete in the pre-gold partner dance event. To stay eligible for that event, what I could do is not test my last gold dance, but keep testing through all of my internationals because that loophole was there. So what we're doing to prevent that from happening is we're saying that you can't have passed more than one standard adult 21 and over or 50 and over international dance test in order to stay eligible for pre-gold. So it gives those skaters the opportunity to test maybe the silver samba because that is in the rotation for championship. But you can't go on and test all of the international dances and just not test one gold and stay eligible for the pre-gold partner dance event.
Awesome. And we have one more item. Rachel, would you like to talk to us about how we're allowing knee sliding?
Yes, and also we did have a change for the pre-gold solo pattern dance event as well, Aviva. We clarified the Starlight Waltz, Once Upon a Time, Once Upon a Dream, was an international dance, and it became a pre-gold dance, I'm going to say circa 2003. And so we clarified that for determined eligibility, Starlight Waltz passed prior to September 1st, 2003 is considered a pre-gold dance, not an international dance. And then finally, in the rules for the partnered free dance for the adults, it strictly prohibited knee sliding or kneeling on the ice. In recent years, a sliding element has become an actual element in standard dance, partner dance events. And also many of our adult teams, I won't name any by name, but actually were doing some sort of kneeling or sliding on the ice, and it was a little inconsistent with whether they were getting deducted for that or not because it was a prohibited element. So we just removed that. If a team does any sort of kneeling or sliding, it doesn't count for anything technically, but you're not going to get penalized if you do a little bit of that. You don't have to, but if you want to, go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you, Rachel. Lori, do you want to talk a bit about the RFAs for the competitions committee?
I will. No shenanigan break. I guess we already had some shenanigans.
It's just, I want to have shenanigans and trivia, but I'm a little conscious of time because we had the late start and the issue, so I was going to save shenanigans for the end. Don't worry, I have plenty of shenanigans.
We love shenanigans. So one of these RFAs actually got approved by the board last fall, so it was in place in time for this year's qualifying season, and that was closing loophole that was permitting foreign skaters to compete in adult pair and dance events below their equivalent skill level. So now if you competed at the ISU World or Junior Championships, the ISU Grand Prix, or Junior Grand Prix in an ISU Challenger Series event, Olympic, or the Olympic Winter Games in novice, junior, or senior pairs or dance, you can only choose to compete in championship, masters, or centennial pairs and dance. And that's just a fairness issue that we were able to get sorted out this year. You already heard about the 4 new trophies that we're working on. 3 have been approved. 2 more, or 1 more is in the queue right now. And that's really exciting to me. This whole trophy project began actually 5 or 6 years ago before I even chaired the committee. Because I live in Colorado Springs, I noticed that of all of the adult trophies that had already been established, 5 were missing and only 2 of them were on display. And so that began a multi-phase project. Fast forward to now. And after these final 4 trophies are established, thanks to the hard work of your adult skating committee team led by Aviva and Kara, we will now have trophies, perpetuals trophies, established for each and every championship event at the U.S. Adult Championships, in addition to 5 partner dance events, and we also have the Yvonne Dallin Trophy. So this it's the culmination of years and years and years of work. And something really exciting, I'm going to see if I can pull it up on my phone for you guys, that also happened in conjunction with this, because I said some of them were on display. The museum's really full. There's lots of stuff down there. And so unless you have a place to put the trophy, it doesn't really do any good to have it. So we unveiled last year, was it 2016, Lisa? At the when we hosted Midwestern Adult Championships, Midwestern Adult Sectionals in Colorado Springs, we unveiled our first dedicated trophy case. Yeah, it was. Now this year on March, it's not gonna, I don't know if it'll work. It's kind of, yeah, there you go. If you look at me on Zoom, on March 11th, the day before I went into social isolation, I went in to headquarters with the ever amazing Karen Cover, who's been our partner at the museum for the last 5-6 years on this project. And we installed a second trophy case. There we go. Sorry, I thought I was on mute and I panicked a moment. I'm not. We installed a second trophy case at the Museum and Hall of Fame. So there's room for all of these new trophies. So they're being well loved and cared for. Karen takes care of them. Kara helps with the documents to update them each year. And I'm here to go in and clean and polish, which I did, and they're beautiful. So if you ever make it to Colorado Springs, be sure you stop by the museum. It's really rewarding to have your little place in figure skating history. Let's see. So the only RFA that we have that is actually not already enacted in the Governing Council meeting book from the Competitions Committee that deals with adults is a modification to Rule 1041C 4B. And essentially that just means that in the future at the adult sectional non-qualifying competitions, local organizing committees will have the choice of offering IJS for adult, bronze, and lower singles, pairs, ice dance, dramatic, and light entertainment events. So shout out to Scott Davis, who was an LOC chair at Pacific Coast, to help encourage us to get that through the system this year. So have your club delegates support that, vote for it. By the way, if you don't know, club delegates only have until April 24th to isolate items. You won't be able to do it live at Governing Council. So if there is something you have an issue with, you need to get on line, and there's a form through US Figure Skating to do that. So the other items that, in case you didn't know, Competitions Committee is in charge of the conduct of all of the adult qualifying competitions, whereas the Adult Skating Committee takes care of the content. So I worked with Jamie Zimmerman, who is amazing. We already gave a shout out to her today, but she really is just a joy to work with, and really takes care of the competitions really well. But worked with her to be a resource for all the chief referees, local organizing committees. There's a lot of questions that come up about adult qualifying rules and competitions, so we make sure that everything's run consistently and fairly. We the process, as Aviva mentioned, 2022 was just through a very, I would say it was the right decision. We used an unusual set of circumstances and decision making to award that bid to Delaware because the event was canceled this year. So 2022 Adult Championships will go to Delaware. Bids for adult sectionals are still on the normal schedule for 2022. So if you have a club that wants to host adult sectionals in 2022, those bids are open, as well as 2023 adult champs and adult sectionals through the end of December for those. And we did award bids for 2021. So if you have been isolating in homes socially online as well as physically. In case you haven't heard, 2021 Adult Champs goes to Onyx Suburban Skating Academy in Rochester. Eastern Adult Sectional Championships next year, you guys are going to Florida, hosted by the Panthers Figure Skating Club. Midwestern Adult Sectionals is going to go to Fort Wayne, March 12th to 14th. And Pacific Coast, you're going to Vegas, baby. So I hope to see all of you there. We're really looking forward to a great qualifying season next year. And we have some future plans I just wanted to share with you because I know this was the first year that the LOCs were required to use EMS for both the non-qualifying and qualifying competitions at adult sectionals. It resulted in an unfortunate situation where administratively skaters had to pay 2 first event fees if they were doing qualifying and non-qualifying. Jamie is working on that hard at headquarters next season to combine the registration process for both competitions so that administratively there's just one portal that you go into. That'll also help some issues with skaters accidentally registering for the wrong event. And the bigger bonus to all of us is that that means 1 first event fee. So that's what we've been doing. Hey.
Awesome. Thank you, Lori. So we have a special guest who just joined us. Hopefully everyone on Facebook can see her. We have Lexi Roner joining us. Lexi is currently the chair of the nominating committee and the vice chair of music and announcing on the DORM committee. DORM means Domestic Officials, Recruitment, and Management. In the past, you also knew Lexi as the chair of the Adult Skating Committee and the national vice chair for adult skating on the competitions committee and like 7,000 other things on many other committees. So Lexi, if you could please unmute yourself. She's going to talk to us a bit about the DORM committee and their hopes for officials recruitment.
Hi, everybody. I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Aviva, for having me. With the leadership committee structure that U.S. Figure Skating had last year, as Aviva said, we have a new committee that formed called the DORM Committee, Domestic Officials, Recruitment, and Management. And I'm the vice chair for the recruitment subcommittee on that. We have 4 subcommittees, and each subcommittee has vice chairs for various areas. I'm the vice chair for the recruitment subcommittee for announcing and music. And our subcommittee has a Facebook page. I will put the link in the comments for this this conversation so you can have it all, and I'll make sure that the adult committee leadership has it as well. If you're interested in anything in the officials area, what we're doing is we're actively recruiting for all areas of officials, and we have a vice chair on our subcommittee for each area. So if you're interested in announcing, accounting, judging, music, you can contact us and get the information you need to pursue learning in that area. Last week, we had a webinar that was geared toward collegiate, that anyone was welcome. And it was recorded, and it should be posted at some point soon in the members only section of our website. You can always feel free to contact me with questions or look in members only and contact the appropriate vice chair for the area of your interest. But on the adult skating committee, there are, of course, a number of qualified officials who can also answer your questions and get you started. But we'd really love to see adult skaters out in the officials world. I see Rochelle raising her hand, of course, Lisa Landon and Reed and Lori. There's a lot of people, a lot of good resources on this committee alone. But the recruitment subcommittee, as well as the other subcommittees on DORM, were created in order to provide better avenues for more people, like adult skaters, to begin participating as officials. Thank you very much.
Can I add something, Aviva? You know what I'm going to add. If you digest and dive into the Governing Council meeting book, there's another RFA that's coming from DORM that just makes my heart full because to become a technical specialist requires a high level of demonstrated skating accomplishment. And for the first time ever, if this rule passes, skaters who competed in championship, masters, junior, senior, singles events at the adult sectional championships will be eligible to become technical specialists. So have your delegates support this rule. Seriously exciting, and love and gratitude to Todd Bromley, the chair of the dorm committee and the board of directors of US Figure Skating for supporting that change. It wasn't balloted that way, but it was approved by the board in that format, so this is huge. So yay!
I would really like to commend Aviva for a fabulous as chair, and of course Lori for the amazing job that she always does. And as a team, everybody has been just amazing, and I'm super proud of everybody.
Thank you. At this point, we did get through the agenda, so if you are in our Facebook audience and you have questions for the Adult Skating Committee, now's a good time to ask it. And meanwhile, I have a trivia question. In what year did we see the first human tossy, and who was the first human tossy? Please tell us in the comments, and if no one can get it, I will let a leadership member answer. I think several of them know the answer. Who was the first human tossy, and when was the human tossy tossed for the first time? Can anyone tell us in the comments? I think there's a little bit of a delay. I think there's a little bit of a delay between when I talk and when Facebook gets to hear it. Let's see if anyone can tell us. Not
there. We go.
There we go. Susie Herman for the win. Susie says Becca Guthrie. No. Oh, Cheryl Morrison says 2008 and Becca Guthrie. That is the complete answer we were looking for, but I will give Susie credit. One more. In what year at the Adult Championships did we see the interpretive event split into dramatic entertainment and light entertainment? In what year did this happen? Let's see if anyone can answer our question. Meanwhile, I'll make sure everyone saw my bears. This is a 2020 bear that I made. It's a little hard to see the white. And this is a 2021 bear that I made. We have guesses for 2010 and 2013. Both are incorrect. Keep guessing. Nope. No, it is not 2014. We don't have it yet. As a, if that's a good hint. Someone's excited for Vegas. Okay, would any of my leadership friends like to try to answer this one? Oh, Zulu's here. No, it was not 2009 or 2011. Come on, people.
2006.
No. Come on, Julie. You can do this. No? Oh,
2005.
Nope. I wasn't age eligible in 2005.
You froze for me for a second, so I didn't even hear what you said. Is the question, when did it split from 1 to 2? Or is the question, when did it become the current categories?
The question is, when did we switch to the current categories? 2012, we have one.
Sorry.
Rachel Duran, 2012 was the answer to that question. Okay, if anyone has, please comment. Carrie, do you have any questions from earlier that we need to address?
I don't think so. The biggest one was a Sparks Notes version, I think it's Sparks Notes, of the adult competition series. So reach out to me feel free to reach out to me through Facebook, or maybe I'll create a little one-page thing. But the gist of it is compete at 2 competitions throughout the season, one of which must be your sectional. You have to compete in just free skate this year, and no compulsory, so just free skate. And you compete in your current test level. And I think there's don't quote me on this, if there's a bonus for moving up throughout the season. I'm pretty sure there is. And then that's about it, I think, in the general scheme of the adult competition series. But Madison, I think, was the skater's name, so just reach out to me.
Yeah, reach out to us.
We do have one more question that just came in about pre-bronze at adult nationals.
Yes, I saw that one too, and then I actually have one that we've gotten both via Instagram and email that I'm going to let Rachel answer. The comment was, are we considering allowing pre-bronze event at the adult championships for any and all disciplines? I want to clarify that pre-bronze partner dance is already an event that is offered at the adult championships. And the answer is no, we are not considering expanding to the pre-bronze level. More than anything else, we simply do not have the time to add the pre-bronze level, and it's simple as that right now. I will encourage pre-bronze skaters to please compete at adult sectionals, please pursue the adult competition series, and please continue to work towards testing in various tests that will make you eligible for the adult champs. I will also note that there are a lot of people who become eligible for the adult champs through bronze showcase, and you don't have to pass bronze free skate to compete in bronze showcase. There are a lot of other ways to do that. So please don't be discouraged, and please continue working hard towards your tests and your goals. So the question we got via email and was, we're hearing from a couple of people, they're curious because the ISU recently announced that they're keeping last year's pattern dances. And people want to know if the adult skating committee will keep last year's pattern dances. So Rachel.
Yeah, so as of right now, we are planning to move to the pattern dances for next year that were already published. This is for both solo and partner dance. And, unfortunately, this year's dances, we're going to move on and move to what was planned for next year. The ISU did announce that they were keeping next year's dances, the rhythm dance and also the pattern dances, and that applies also. They just announced that it doesn't just apply to standard, it also applies to adults. So if you're planning on competing Ottawa or Oberstdorf next season, that will be in place for you as well. So look to what they did this last season. As of right now, we have not made any decision. We do not have to align ourselves with what ISU does. And as of right now, it's too early to make that decision. None of us have lost, with respect to next season for the U.S. competitions, none of us have lost any training time. We'd all still be at nationals right now. So, if we get back on the ice, if rinks start opening up and we're all able to get back on the ice and start training around June, July, August, then really there's no reason to the pattern for another season. Now, if it gets to June, July, and we're still not back on the ice, rinks are still closed, there's still orders out from different states, shelter-in-place orders and that sort of thing, then by all means, at that point, we may revisit this discussion. But as of right now, plan on competing the dances for next year that are published both in the rule book, and you can find that information on the adult committee's page.
Thank you. And I actually want to answer the question from Joy that just came in. Joy is asking, will we ever consider Centennial for Masters Champ Freestyle? Again, we don't have the time currently to add any events to the adult championships. I would personally love to see a Centennial singles event. I mean, there already is a Centennial dance and a Centennial pairs event, so it definitely is the next logical step, and it's certainly something I've thought about, especially for Masters skaters. But at the same time, we have done some things to help with the Centennial eligible crowd in Masters, like allowing the waltz jump to count as an axel type jump rather than dashing them if they couldn't do an axel. Is there anyone else who wants to speak to the possibility of this topic?
I'd just like to add that when we discussed this several years ago, the big issue that we ran into logistically was that it would decimate the current championship
men's events because you're pulling on the same group of skaters. And so right now, most of the men's events automatically advance via the 4 rule or the 12 if you were nationally. And we would further split up those entries and decrease the meaning of those events. So we have to think about both men and women when we consider changes like these.
Julie, I thought you had something to add to this one. What you got?
I do. It's just because I'm a copy editor, I just wanted to add the word centennial comes from 100. And so it's called centennial because there's 2 people that are 50. So if it's, a solo event, we'd have to come up with. I know what everybody meant, but every time I hear that, it makes me laugh.
Yeah,
Centennial.
I totally knew that she meant over 50, but you're right.
I did too.
We would totally have to call it. We would definitely have to call it something else. It isn't, I'm not saying it's never going to happen. It's definitely something that I would love to see, but it's true that there are some difficulties with it. And again, one of the greatest things being that we're running out of time. So I don't know if anyone read this in the program that Jerry Santoferrara created, but the 2020 Adult Champs was actually supposed to be the 2nd largest ever. I believe that's in terms of number of starts. Is that correct? Someone tell me if that was based on starts or people.
That's why you keep talking. You keep talking, I'll look it up.
Oh, okay. I don't know. That's either, I think it's based on number of starts, number of people, etc. But yeah, so our event is getting so big. It's an embarrassment of riches. It's a wonderful thing that our event is so big. But at the same time, now is not the best time for us to be looking for other things to add right now when we're still trying to figure out how to manage this event. For me, at least in the time I've been coming to the Adult Champs, this was the largest group I'd ever seen for Championship Adult Dance. There were 12 registered teams. I don't believe I had ever seen that happen before. That this might actually be the first time that ever happened. So yeah, the interest is rapidly growing. We have a couple more minutes, so I will ask another trivia question. I think this one's pretty hard, so I'm gonna open it up to the leadership people as well. Only one skater has won titles in both Championship Adult Gold Ladies and Championship Masters Intermediate Novice Ladies. Name that skater.
While you guys are thinking, so the data this year, we never actually got the final data on total starts because skaters advance from qualifying events. You have to go through a process to add the overlaps. People get a chance to withdraw, but we were somewhere in the range of expecting it to be it could have been anywhere from the 2nd to the 4th highest in total number of starts. In the history of the adult championships. It was record-breaking numbers for adult sectionals this year. We had the highest number of qualifying athletes compete in adult sectionals in the history of adult qualifying competition. There were 263 athletes that competed in adult sectionals this year.
We have 3 incorrect guesses in the comments for my trivia question. We're looking for the only female skater. The only skater who has won both Championship Adult Gold Ladies and Championship Masters Intermediate Novice Ladies. We've had guesses for Christina, Kathleen, Beth, and Stephanie. None are correct. Rochelle, got a guess?
Is it Ninotchka? I can't say her last name.
No, but she has won the most Champ Gold Ladies titles. So
very good.
You're on.
Is it Melinda Spear?
No, it is not Melinda Spear.
Amanda Blackwell?
No, it is not Amanda Blackwell. You are naming people who have won a title in one or the other, but not both is the problem.
Can you give us a decade?
She, I believe her titles were in 2010 and 2016.
Katrina Bond?
No.
No.
Beth Delano won. Intermediate novice, so.
Elizabeth Murdoch?
I can picture her. I can.
Not Emily Chase.
Rebecca Music.
Yes. Who said Rebecca Music?
Yes.
Lori, did you look it up?
Updating trophy lists.
Lori. Oh, you were on the list.
No, I said it's from all the years of updating
from all
this.
Yes, so Rebecca Music is the only person who has won both Champ Gold Ladies and Championship Masters Intermediate Novice Ladies. All right, I think we have time for one more question. I just had a feeling that would be a hard one because I feel like her name wasn't like on the tip of anyone's tongue, even though like we knew who she was. Okay, so at the Adult Championships, we received some interesting items in our goodie bags. At what year of the Adult Championships did our goodie bag include pens from a funeral home? Can anyone in the comments tell me when a funeral home contributed items to the Adult Championships goodie bags?
I do like the fact that you recall that this happened. I don't.
Rob Lichtefeld.
Rob
Lichtefeld wrote this trivia question.
Oh, good Rob.
Can anyone tell us when a funeral home contributed to our goodie bags?
I want to guess 2010, but that was the year of the miniature garden tools.
Garden tools were another trivia question, so you're onto something there. No, so yeah.
Okay, everybody in the comments, you only have about 25 guesses.
We have a guess for 2010, 2009.
Nope.
2010.
Oh, no, and someone like their pitchforks. No to all of Samantha Lindenberg's. I love that Rob has a photo of the funeral home. No, and actually, Kathleen, I do think you were at this one. Not positive, but I think she was there. I wasn't at this one.
I wasn't at this, and I don't remember.
It's only about 25 years to choose from. Guys.
Rachel, you were there. I'm positive Rachel was there.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give us a hint. It was a funeral home in the Pacific Coast section.
Arizona 13?
Becca
So
Guthrie,
like 2012, 2015, or 2019.
it was one of those three, yes. Becca Guthrie remembers her funeral home pen, but cannot recall the year.
We have a guess for 2013.
No, none of 2015. Samantha Lindenberg has it. Yes, yeah. So 2015 in Salt Lake City was apparently the year of the funeral home pens. All right, I'll ask one more question and then we'll wrap it up. All right. The Yvonne Dallin Trophy was first presented in 2017 to the oldest competitor at the 2017 Adult Championships. Who was the very first recipient of the Yvonne Dallin Trophy? Can anyone tell us? The first person to ever receive this trophy. People in the comments are still reminiscing about the funeral home pens. We've got them.
Yes.
On that. Who was the first Yvonne Dallin Trophy recipient? She received it in 2017.
Can we answer? Was it Coralie?
Yes. Who did that come from? Was that Julie?
Ronig?
Yes.
Me.
Yes, it was
Coralie Ronig?
Yes, it was Coralie Ronig.
What was her last name?
Yes.
Ronig.
We have
yeah, it was. Okay.
We have a guess in the comments for Connie Curry. Connie Curry has received the trophy, but she was not the first. So we were looking for Coralie Ronig. She is a lovely skater who makes some absolutely outstanding showcase costumes that everyone needs to see. And Coralie was actually planning to return to us at the 2020 Adult Championships, where she once again would have been our oldest competitor there. I have heard that she intends to keep competing, and I really hope to see her in 2021. Okay. Before, I don't really want to go over time, and I know for the East Coast in particular, it's getting pretty late. Is there anything that anyone here wants to share? I'm going to attempt to unmute all of my friends, but yeah, here we go. Unmute all. It may not let me unmute everybody. Okay, it's gone. All right, is there anything anyone else wants to share while we're on here?
I'd like to just give a shout out. I don't know if she's on Facebook right now, but I want to say hi to Beth Delano, who would have been our 25-year platinum lifetime competitor this year. I'm so sorry you have to wait an extra year, but we love you, and I can't wait to see you in Michigan and be able to be there when you receive that recognition.
Beth was the last skater on the marathon 15-hour competition day of Saturday at Easterns, and she did an amazing job.
Everyone needs to go on FanZone and watch Beth's performance. I've watched, I think, nearly every sectionals video that's on FanZone, and Beth's truly was one of my personal favorites. And I was really excited that she was one of the top 4 because that means she will be in the June-July issue of Skating Magazine, along with all of the 2020 qualifiers. Thank you so much, Julie, for including that because that was a wonderful shout out. Is there anything else anyone else wants to share? Lexi?
Go read the blog.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Or send me information that you want shared in the stories.
Lexi's been blogging about our non-athletic achievements at home. It's been wonderful and very, very, very entertaining. I know that several of us on this screen have been performing programs in various places. I did my free skate in the yard. Julie did all 3 programs in her living room, and Kara did her light entertainment on a staircase. Lori created a brand new light entertainment with a brand new partner. Rachel has been
or endorsed by U.S. Figure Skating or any of its representatives. It is something that I have done every year that is usually put out by Ice Network or FanZone or U.S. Figure Skating, but as we don't have a competition this year, I decided to do something unofficial, made a Facebook page for it, and am continuing the tradition of the vlog at our free creativeness. So participate if you'd like. Go check out what kind of events are available on there and make your submissions.
We have one more.
Put that in the comments.
Just linked it. I just put a link to it in the comments.
Thank you, Carrie. We have one more Beth Delano fan in the comments. For those who are just tuning in, this whole thing allegedly did record on Facebook. It will be in 2 chunks because we had some technical difficulties. What I plan to do either tonight or tomorrow is download the 2 chunks, combine them into one video. I'll throw it onto the Adult Skating Committee YouTube page, and then we'll link to it from there so that people who missed part of this. Sorry, Ian McAdam, who is at the beach right now, just texted me that he also wants to talk about something else we reviewed this season that he feels is very important to bring to the group. We had a really heated discussion about the possibility of leveled falls this year, which will go down in history with Ian's several achievements on April Fool's Day. We will not be implementing leveled falls, but thank you for that contribution, which certainly rivaled the solo pairs competition series that Stephen and Ian created a couple years ago. On that note, I think I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and call this a day.
We have one more thing that's really important, and Lexi mentioned it earlier, but I think we need to say it again. Lexi and I, as past chairs, no one can understand more than us what it's like to step into the shoes of chairing this committee. And Aviva Cantor, the one who's currently at the reins, has done an amazing job this last year. So we need to give her a round of applause and gratitude. Her heart and soul is committed to all of us as adult skaters, and we owe you a debt. Thank you.
Those of us who've been around for a really, really long time, it's very gratifying to see the leadership continue in a way that makes adult skating continue to grow and be successful. Very gratifying.
Thank you. I get to do the lovely things I get to do today because I have the support of all of you on here and because of the super awesome people who came before me. I actually think I saw Maggie Harding in the comments at one point. I'm not sure if we have any other past chairs in there. But yeah, thank you to absolutely everyone who was a chair before me. What, Lori?
I said, I think I saw Tony earlier.
Oh, hi, Tony. I've been emailing with Tony today. I've been interviewing him for the magazine. But yeah, thank you to absolutely everyone. I wish that everyone stays safe and stays healthy, and hope to see absolutely everyone at a lot of really great events in the 2020 to 2021 season. Just be safe, be healthy. If you need to reach out to us, you can find us at usfigureskating.org/adultskating. And if you scroll to the bottom, you can get some leadership contacts. Mike, can you hold up your mask one more time? Mike Cruz, crafter extraordinaire, with the best.
That's amazing.
Really nice.
With the best mask
Very clever.
ever.
+5, Joey. +5.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'm going to turn off the Facebook Live feed now.
Thank you, Viva.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Stay healthy.